Mr. McLeod, Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court taken into custody.
Really?
This hearing is absolute chaos from the very first second. Mr. McLeod is facing a serious charge, assaulting a police officer, and instead of focusing on the accusation, he immediately pulls a classic sovereign citizen move. He claims the court has no authority over him, interrupts nonstop, throws around fake legal jargon, and acts like he's about to expose some hidden flaw in the justice system. But the judge, completely unshaken. Every time McLeod tries to derail the hearing, the judge calmly shuts it down. It gets heated fast, and by the end of it, the judge has no choice but to remand him to jail for the night. Frustrating? Yes. Entertaining? Absolutely. If you enjoy courtroom breakdowns like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's move into...
You understand your right to a lawyer, including a court-appointed lawyer?
I understand.
Okay. And do you wish to represent yourself instead of having
Yeah, I'm here by special appearance, and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law before I accept that waiver to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $1,000 fine. If there's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and or 100 to 500 term. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand why I'm here.
Watch how patient this judge is. Despite constant interruptions and nonsense arguments, he genuinely tries to give Mr. McLeod a fair chance. He explains things slowly, clearly, repeatedly. Meanwhile, McLeod pretends not to understand basic legal concepts, as if confusion itself is a strategy. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this guy actually believes what he's saying, or is this just an act to dodge responsibility?
Well, okay, well, that's fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty that I just explained?
No.
Hold on, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things too, honestly.
Hold on, well, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things, or I'm going to be in trouble. Do you understand that the maximum penalty that you could face for the charges that you're here for is up to 3 years in prison and or $1,000?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is, or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what it is you don't understand?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me because there's no established jurisdiction.
That's not what I'm asking you right now. I'll let you place whatever objections you want on the record, Mr. McLeod, I promise you. Okay? Can we just go one step at a time? So do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as charged? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine?
Well, I have another question because statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
So you're saying this is a statutory jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
General
The
jurisdiction.
people of the state of Michigan voted to convene a constitutional convention in 1961.
Sure.
There was a constitutional convention in 1961 and 1962. They proposed a state constitution. The voters of the state of Michigan ratified that in 1963. Article 6 establishes the judicial power. And the circuit court is a court under that judicial power, Article 6 of the state constitution. And so you're here in my court. I have subject matter jurisdiction over those crimes. I have personal jurisdiction over you because you've been alleged to have committed them in our county. That's my jurisdiction. So, Mr. McLeod, do you want to represent yourself? Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face of 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I can see why his attorney would Drew. Oh, shit.
Hang on. Someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh.
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend, to observe. They've participated. I'm removing them from the meeting.
This moment right here, completely raw and unfiltered. Someone in the courtroom react in a way that perfectly captures what everyone is thinking. And honestly, it's hard not to laugh. I don't even know how the judge kept a straight face. And let's be real, by this point, it makes total sense why his attorney withdrew. McLeod is sitting there flipping through a stack of papers like he's about to pull a legal rabbit out of a hat. He genuinely looks convinced he's cracked some secret legal code. Meanwhile, the judge, prosecutor, and probably everyone else in the room already know how this ends. Watching him argue imaginary laws is like watching someone try to win a game without knowing the rules.
Mr. McLeod, do you understand the maximum penalty you face?
1 second. Okay, so in enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected qualified by legal immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can you back it? Look at me for a second. Can you talk here?
I've challenged subject matter jurisdiction and nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it and I denied your objection. I have subject matter
doesn't exist under the Constitution.
Your objection is noted. So, Mr. McLeod, do you understand? Let me explain to you.
Sure.
Sometimes, as I said, people might want to represent themselves, but let's say they have limited intellectual capacity and they don't understand what's going on.
At this stage, the judge is done. Not emotional, not dramatic, just done. McLeod keeps fumbling through papers, quoting laws that don't exist, and the judge calmly dismantles every single point with straight facts. No theatrics, no raised voice, just professional, surgical precision. Moments like this remind you why judges hold ultimate authority in the courtroom. It's not about ego. It's about structure, order, and actual law.
I have to establish that they know what's going on before I can allow them to represent themselves. I'm required to establish, do you comprehend, do you know the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as a result of this charge? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. McLeod?
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod, stop.
court can be
Stop, Mr. McLeod. If you don't understand it, I'm going to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because I can't establish that you know what you're doing. So, do you know the maximum penalty that you would face?
Well, I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. We haven't established it yet. You said you have a statutory jurisdiction which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
Then
saying,
answer it. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you face for this charge?
so judges who become involved in enforcing
Mr.
these
McLeod,
statutes.
I have other matters. Mr. McLeod, you know, I understand you want to object to things, and you're going to be allowed to object to things, okay? But we have to do things one step at a time. And I do have other cases today. I'm not going to entertain this for like a whole hour. I've got other cases going on. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. And I can hold you in contempt, and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
Your
and then
Honor,
we'll
I don't wish to be held in contempt. I just wish to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So before I can let you under,
I can
before I
cite
can,
laws. I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying it enough to where I can comprehend that you say.
do you comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face?
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong, and you can appeal
There's
it.
no
to the
such thing
Supreme
as a
Court.
statutory jurisdiction.
Mr. McLeod, let me make this simple to you. Do you ever watch Let me make this simple for you. I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time. Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question, or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt. And the court officer will bring you to a jail cell, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So,
Mr.
in
McLeod,
contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000?
I don't understand the charges. I
Mr.
don't
McLeod is in
accept
contempt
charges.
of court taken into custody.
Really? God's sake. Protecting my rights is you guys are
Follow
following
unconstitutional
following
orders.
law orders. It's not constitutional at all.
Mr. McLeod's in contempt and sentenced to 1 day. Mr. McLeod, your sentence is 1 day in jail. We'll reconvene tomorrow and get you
This is
notice.
unconstitutional. There's nothing wrong except for questioning exercise my rights.
Honestly, this is where it goes from entertaining to almost sad. Watching him try to play lawyer is painful. The Sixth Amendment guarantees a right to legal counsel, even a court-appointed attorney, if you can't afford one. Instead of accepting help, he chooses to represent himself while facing a serious felony charge. Assaulting a police officer can carry years in prison. He's potentially looking at 3 years, and yet he's wasting time arguing imaginary technicalities. You can see the judge tried to guide him early on. Patient, calm, clear, but even the most patient judge has limits. Eventually, the court has to move forward. The wildest part? The confidence. He looks convinced he's moments away from unlocking some legal loophole. In reality, he's digging himself deeper. A felony conviction can mean prison time, loss of certain civil rights, and long-term consequences that follow you for life. Sovereign citizen arguments have been rejected by courts for decades. These theories aren't new. They've consistently failed because judges are bound to apply actual law, not personal interpretations of it. At the end of the day, it's a mix of chaos, delusion, and hard reality colliding in one courtroom. Let me know what you think. Does Mr. McLeod truly believe this stuff? Or is this just an act? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more courtroom analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.